What is going on, guys? It is your boy Hyga, and as you can tell by the title today, I have another Wizard101 video for you guys. And today, I know I've already done Fire and Myth for the 140 builds, but I was like, you know what? Let me just redo it. There's a lot of things I've learned, and I figured it'd be easier if I just did all 7 schools in one video. That way you guys can just click on one video. I'll put timestamps in like a pinned comment or something, or in the description. And then you can just click on the timestamp and go to whatever school it is that you prefer or whatever you need, and we'll go with it that way. But with all that being said, I finally got my 7th wizard, my ice, up to level 138, so he's able to use the ring. So I've officially made the builds for all 7, and we are now going to start and dive into it. We're going to start with life. I'll go into ice, and then we'll go from there. But starting with life, starting from the deck, we have the Lively Paradox. Spoiler, all 7 schools are going to be using the Paradox deck. If I forget to mention it for the school, all 7 are using Paradox deck. I haven't gone into getting the Caramel decks yet. We're using the Sweet Ride mount. It's from the Candied Isle bundle. The Swedish Chef set gives 4% damage. We're using the boots and hat, so I'll go into that later. For the pet, Quint damage with the Selfish, 4, 7, 7, 11, 4. On the Scratchy Frilosaur, we're using the Scratchy Frilosaur because of the universal set bonus. 5 damage is better than the life set bonus. 4 damage, We're using the Director Survival Ring. There's the Executive Rings, there's the Director Rings. I went the Director route because the Directors have the Circle slot. You can use Executive, you get 1 more damage, but you don't get the Circle slot. So it's totally up to you on what you want to use. For the Amulet, we are using the Spirit of Darkmoor's Jewel. Because we are using the Swedish Chef set and we are not using the Dragoon set, I'm not using the Dragoon Amulet. I could, if I wanted, to drop the 35 crit, which is still very viable if you want the Spinosaur card, which I would probably do. But for the sake of this video, for the sake of the stats looking amazing, and for the sake of the crit, we're going to keep the Darkmoor Jewel, or the Darkmoor Amulet. For the Athame, we are using Morganth. We have 2 18 crits socketed, 13 accuracy, 115 health. On some of the other schools, my circle jewels are a bit more mixed and matched, but for some of the weaker schools, I kept my crit because I wanted to keep my crit as close to 600 as I possibly could. I didn't want to go lower than 600. I want to keep my threshold somewhere in that range. For the wand, obviously using the Fossil Avenger Skull Crusher. This is the set bonus matcher. For the pet, 18 damage is really not bad at all, but then we also get that +5 on the set bonus. For the boots, we have the Swedish Chef Clogs. These are also from the Candied Isle bundle, obviously. 34 damage on them, quite nice. For the robe, we are using the Life Tennyson robe. The Life Tennyson robe is so much better than the ice one, and it's so crazy because I made the ice build, and it's quite similar to the life one, but man, Life's looks so much better just because their Tennyson robe isn't absolutely dog trash like Ice's. Swedish Chef hat, 28 damage, 15% pips, very helpful. But now that all that is out the way, let's go ahead and get into the stats. Oh, wow, look at it. 172 life damage, 100 on the universal. It looks so much nicer than ice. You'll see what I'm talking about. 19% resist is not bad at all for the amount of damage that we have. 27% accuracy, so we're not fizzling a darn thing. 7.3k health, not bad, not bad. For the crit, we're rocking 601, which is very good. Not too low, not too high. I think that's a good spot. 8% pierce is not bad. 20% on the outgoing, not bad either. 100% power pips and 541 pip conversion. I think these stats are phenomenal. I'm actually very, very happy with the way this build came out. 172 damage is unheard of previously for a Life Wizard. So having this high damage, having good enough crit, having good accuracy, good power pips, your Spinosaurs, your Rat Spin, your Forest Lords, all that stuff is going to be doing really, really nice damage, even though, obviously, ideally, you're not going to be hitting. But if you do, your stats are going to be looking beautiful. Now that life is out the way, let's go ahead and move on to ice. Okay, so this is take 3 for the Ice Wizard. I keep talking as if people are going to watch the whole video, but they're just going to watch for their schools. So let's go ahead and get into ice, quite similar to the life one. But we are starting with the Icy Paradox deck. All 7 of the schools are going to be using this because I haven't gotten the caramel ones. 12% accuracy socketed. We're using the Sweet Ride mount because we're using the Swedish Chef set bonus. This is from the Candied Isle bundle. $40. Just came out recently. For the pet, I have a Scratchy Frilosaur with Quint damage. If you're struggling to make a set and you don't have the bundle, I would 100% recommend just getting Quint damage on a Scratchy Frilosaur and then socketing like accuracy or power pips or something like that. I think that could really help because the Tennyson robe and the Malistaire robe for ice, or if you're using the Royal Fusilier robe, they don't give that much pip, they don't give that much accuracy, so that could really help you balance things out. For the ring, we're using the Director Cryo ring. I have a 17 crit socketed. Again, I'm going with the Director setup because of the Circle Jewel. The Executive gives 1% more damage, but you don't get the Circle Jewel slot. For the amulet, because we're using the Swedish Chef set bonus, I'm not using the Dragoon stuff, so I don't have the Dragoon set bonus. You can 100% drop 30 crit on this setup to use the Ice Wyvern. However, I'd be a little less likely to recommend that on the Ice than I would on the Life. Life was able to get a bit more crit than Ice, but we'll talk about that later. For the Athame, I'm using the Darkmoor Athame just for the extra pip and for the extra accuracy. 218 crit jewel socketed because, not gonna lie, Ice was struggling with the crit. Not gonna lie. For the wand, we're using the Fossil Avenger Skull Crusher, 18% damage, obviously impaired with the pet for the 5% set bonus damage. For the boots, Swedish Chef Clogs. For the robe, Royal Fusilier Dress Coat Yuletide Pack. And for the hat, Swedish Chef Hat. Now let's go ahead and break down the stats. Now, here's the thing. If you watch the life part, if you're watching this whole video, then you're going to understand my frustration. If you're just here for the ice one, ice sucks with hitting in PVE. Like, I hate the way these stats look. Ideally, they're not that bad. They're really not. But, oh my god, I hate the way these stats look. 177 damage is very nice, though, but it just looks disgusting. I hate having such low resist. I hate it. But I've tried with the Tennyson robe, I've tried with the Malistaire robe, I've tried with other pack robes. I've looked around so much, and it's just so hard because everything doesn't have enough power pip or enough accuracy, or you lose a lot of damage, and I just think it's more worth it to have this much damage. 177 is quite nice, and it's not worth to lose as much damage just to have higher resist, especially when you're hitting. Because I can make a nicer set or nicer numbers, quote unquote, but I'd be down in like the 160s. And at the end of the day, I want to make the most powerful builds for you guys, the most powerful damage dealing stuff that we're going to be working with. And that's what we have here. 28% accuracy, so you're not going to be fizzling anything. No shadow spells, no base spells, no nothing. And for the crit, we're rocking 559. I like to be as close to 600 as I can. I don't want to go under 600, but for ice, I couldn't. I literally could not get any higher. Obviously, I could socket like 20 crit jewels, and then I would go up like 6, be 565, but it's really not that big of a difference compared to 559. You're still in that 560 threshold. It's not going to make too much of a difference on your damage. And then for the power pip, we are at 100%, 535 on the pip conversion. So we were able to get something nice for the pip conversion, something nice for the accuracy, something good for the damage, and something good for the crit. The resist is a bit lackluster, but hopefully you're not soloing stuff with this setup, and hopefully you have someone who can support you with like mass feints or heals or whatever it is. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this build. Now let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Here's my death build. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually quite the fan of this one. Let's go ahead into the breakdown. For the deck, I'll say it again, all of them have the Paradox deck. We're using Deathly Paradox with the 10% power pip socketed. For the mount, we're using the Stompy Bronto. We're using this for the set bonus, 5% damage. For the pet, we have a Quint damage, Selfish, 4/7, 4/7, 11 on the Scratchy Frilosaur, obviously for the set bonus. For the ring, we're using the Director's Biohazard ring. We have an 18 crit jewel socketed as well as a 120 health jewel socketed, getting up there. For the amulet, we're using the Dragoon's Deadly Charm. I could socket a square jewel, but I haven't right now. We're using this obviously for the set bonus. For the Athame, we're using the Mercy of Shadow and Light. Morganth Athame, 17, 18 crit jewel socketed. Man, this death setup is so fun, actually. For the wand, the Zamunda Spear and Shield. It's from the Safari pack. 22% death damage. Honestly, it would probably be better if you had like the old Sinbad wand, but I don't. So here we are. For the boots, Dragoon's Deadly Boots. For the robe, Tennyson. For the hat, Dragoon. Now, I love this. I love this so much. I'm not gonna lie. 33? With 170? With 8k health, 20% accuracy, 631 crit, 200 block, 107 pips with 700 pip conversion. Bro, I love this. I love when builds are strong and rounded out at the same time. This is very similar to the life build. If you watch that one, we have really good damage, good resist, This has way better health than the life setup does, and good enough accuracy that we're not going to be fizzling anything, right? We're not fizzling Ship of Fools. We're not fizzling Scarecrow. We're not fizzling our shadow spells. We're not fizzling anything. We're not even fizzling Headless. We're not fizzling none. And that is so nice to not have to worry about fizzling when you can just have super good crit, super good damage. It's just, I never thought Death would be at this level. I'm actually so happy with this. So if you're a Death Wizard, hopefully you're capable. This isn't as much bundle stuff as like the Ice and the Life one were. This is mostly stuff that you probably already have. All of this is obtainable in the game, aside from like Zamunda Spear and Shield, which you have to open a pack for. But everything else is available through farming and grinding, which is very nice. So good luck on getting this stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed the Death build, and let's go ahead and move on to the next one. All right, bro. If you've made it this far to the balance one, if you've either watched the video all the way up to here, or if you are just looking for the balance build, let me just tell you, bro, balance is cracked. Like, I made this build and I was honestly so surprised at how strong balance is right now. So check this stuff out, bro. Check this out. I want you to guess, if you're a balance wizard, if you're watching this, how much damage you think we talking, bro? How much damage you think we got? Before we was at like what, 140? 146? Huh. Let's go into the breakdown. Balance Paradox deck, 13% accuracy socketed. You know the vibes. All of them are going to have Paradox. For the mount, Stoppy Bronto, similar to Death, we're using the set bonus here. For the pets, Quint damage with the Selfish, 474711 on the Scratchy Frilosaur, obviously for the set bonus. For the ring, Director Protector, we have flat damage socketed. I knew you wasn't expecting that one. I'll explain later. For the amulet, Dragoon Balance Charm. We got the Dragoon set, so we're using the Dragoon amulet. For the Athame, oh, what's that? A flat damage jewel? Bet you wasn't expecting that one again. All right, this is the Morgantha theme. Let's move on. For the wand, White Pandemonium Jian. This is from the Panda pack, Panda Horde pack, 22% damage, 90 crit. Quite a nice balance wand, if you ask me. For the boots, we're using Dragoon Balance. For the robe, we're using Royal Fusilier. And for the hat, we're using Dragoon Balance. Now, let's go ahead and see if your damage predictions were true. Oh boy, 176, bro. 176. Higher than Death, higher than Life, and it's 1% damage lower than Ice, but all the other stats are so much nicer. You got 8.3 thousand health, looking spicy, with 18% resist universal, 47 to life, 29% accuracy, again, not fizzling a damn thing, 583 crit, really close to 600, 10% pierce, 100% pips, 700 pip conversion. So nice. Now, I know a lot of people are curious, why am I using damage jewels, flat damage jewels? Now, here's the thing. A lot of people, when we talked about lowering the crit system or lowering our crit rating because of the new crit system, everyone was like, okay, just have the same build, take off your crit jewels, throw on pierce jewels. That's fine. Pierce jewels are very viable. Here was my train of thought. What do you need pierce jewels for? Piercing shields, piercing resist, right? If you're fighting a boss who has resist to your school, you should have a prism regardless, because your natural pierce is probably not going to be enough anyways. 1. And 2, if you're fighting a boss that you know is going to shield, or that is a problem enough with his shields or their shields, then you should have someone on your team with shatter, right? That's fair. Now, obviously, if a random mob uses a shield, it'd be nice to have the pierce. But I did the math with that crit calculator that we talked about before, and having flat damage gives you almost the same, if not more, damage output than socketing 2 crit jewels in its place. Here's the thing, though. If you have a set number of crit, the higher someone's block is, the less damage you're going to do. If you have flat damage, it don't matter how much block they have, you still doing bonus damage. So now, no matter how much block they have, I can do an extra 54 damage. And when it comes down to the little numbers of crit that you can add, going up 17, 18, you're only going up about 10 to 20 damage. because of the new crit system. The diminishing returns is that serious. So that's why I socketed the flat damage jewels. This is not my only wizard that has them. Not saying you have to. You can obviously just socket pierce or socket crit. That's totally fine. But I did the damage output math, and I get more damage this way. That's why I did it. But anyways, that's enough of the balance build. I wanted to go ahead and explain that so you didn't think I was crazy. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay, I'm going to keep it a buck. I wasn't happy with this one. I wasn't happy at all. I was very, very, very upset with how lackluster this was. But it is what it is. So here we are on the myth. Honestly, it makes me quite sad every time I log on them. But, you know, I guess it's okay. Starting off, we have the Paradox deck. 10% power pip socketed. For the mount, we're using the Trumpy Bronto. 6% damage on the myth. Set bonus. For the pet, quint damage. Same as like all of them, except this one is the universal. This is the Snappy Philosopher for the myth. 6% damage. For the ring, we're using the Director ring with the 18 crit socketed. 16% damage. We're using the Dragoon amulet because we have the Dragoon set bonus. We're using Morganth, a Thame, double 18 socketed. I'm using the Savannah Spear and Shield, 23% myth damage. For the boots, Dragoon. For the robe, Tennyson. And for the hat, Dragoon. Now, looking back at it, this is quite nice. 181% damage, 32% resist, 7.5k health, 24 accuracy. I'm not gonna lie, that bothers me. It bothers me a lot. It bothers me a lot. I really hate that I have a 1% chance to fizzle, but I looked around and there's not much I could do, bro. There's not much. I could drop like 3% damage to not fizzle, but I don't think that's worth it. I don't, you know, because honestly, with how strong Orthrus is, I don't feel like I need to anyways. But anyways, let's move on. 640 crit, higher on the crit side. I could... Now, this build was made a while ago before I got into the flat damage calculations and stuff like that. So, honestly, I probably could take off 2 crit jewels here and put on 2 flat damage jewels. But I haven't done that. This was the first build I made, so this is quite old. But it's still very viable. 640 crit is quite nice. 181 damage, 24 accuracy, 103% power pip, 700 pip conversion. 4 PS. Hope you don't need it. 206 block rating, not bad at all. So that's the whole breakdown for the myth. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Now at this point, we only got 2 of them left. Storm and Fire, the 2 strongest schools, the 2 main hitting schools. Took me a while, but I'm glad that I finally got this done. And you know, let's go through this. Let's go through this. Yep. Breakdown. Stormy Paradox deck, 10% power pip jewel socketed. For the mount, Storm Gulcher. For the pet, quint damage. It's quite copy and pasta, not gonna lie. Director ring, 17 damage, 99 crit, 17 crit socketed. Dragoon amulet. 2 flat damage socketed. By the way, I forgot to mention, if you need flat damage jewels, you can buy the 27 ones in caramel for gold. They cost like 30k. On the Aphrodite Thame, with the power pip jewel socketed there as well. For the wand, we're using the Primeval Horde Pack wand, Fossil Warrior Skull Crusher, 22% damage with the set bonus on the pet, obviously, 6% damage. For the boots, Dragoon. For the robe, Malistaire. Bro, honestly, this robe is so cracked. It's honestly, when they patch this robe, when they nerf it, I don't know what Storm is going to do. I'm going to be honest. And for the hat, we have Dragoon. Now let's get into the stats. 191 damage with the 54 on the flat. 6.2k health, quite low compared to the other schools, but we do have 29% resist with 40 accuracy. Honestly, Malistaire robe needs to be nerfed, but you know, we're not fizzling a damn thing. 710 critical, bro. How do I have 2 flat damage jewel socketed and still have this much crit? Storm is broken. Anyways, 123 block, pretty dog. Armor piercing, pretty dog. Hope you don't need it. 100% power pips and 655 pip conversion. Now, at the end of the day, what are we looking at? We're looking at damage, we're looking at accuracy, we're looking at power pips, we're looking at crit. All those numbers is beautiful, all right? All those numbers is absolutely beautiful. Highest crit, as it should be. It's the crit school, right? It's the highest crit school, so hope you guys enjoyed the Storm build. Let's go ahead and move on to the last one. Let's move on to Fire. Last but not least, the 7th school, the strongest one in damage. We got the crit school, we got the damage school. Let's go ahead and head to the commons and break down this bad boy. Let's break down this bad boy of a school. All right. Starting things off, we have the Fiery Paradox deck. No surprise here. Fire Gulcher. No surprise here. Pet. Oh, well, never seen that one before. And for the ring, we have the Director Thermal Ring. 18 damage. For the amulet, Dragoon Fiery Charm. Dragoon set bonus. A Thame Morganth, 17 damage with a 2 flat damage dual socketed. I have the crit on the ring, flat damage on the Thame. For the wand, obviously Fossil Avenger Skull Crusher, thing is 2 cracked. For the boots, Dragoon. For the robe, Malistaire. For the hat, Dragoon. Obviously, we're using Malistaire for the extra accuracy, so we can get these juicy stats. 7.5k health. That's crazy. 1,300 more health than Storm, and we get almost the same damage. 196%, 27 on the resist, 32% on the accuracy, so we're not fizzling anything. 656 critical rating. Bro, these hitting schools are actually cracked compared to all the other schools with how much crit you can still have. 5% armor piercing. Who needs it? Dog. 655 pip conversion and 104% power pip. So in the end, I tried to make sure that all the schools had 100% power pip, 100% accuracy. That was the goal. But we have 196% damage, 27 resist, 32 accuracy, 7.5k health, 656 crit, 100% power pip, 655 pip conversion. All of the schools have over 170 damage. All of them have 100% power pip. All of them have upwards towards 600 plus crit. And all but one have exactly or more than 100% crit. Myth being the only one that doesn't. But all of these builds I think are very, very good. I've done more research. I've been playing through. I've been getting all my characters through Caramel. I've done all of that stuff. So I'm actually very, very proud of how these all turned out. And I hope you guys find this helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you found your school. Hopefully all that stuff worked out. If you have any questions, let me know down in the description, in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe for more. Until next time, it's been your boy Haiga. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you guys are safe out there, and I will see you guys later.